Hi kids, how are you? I hope you are doing good and feeling well. And welcome to our lesson for this week for PE and Health. So this is our lesson for weeks 7 and 8. And it is about physical activity, participation on target games. Okay, so let's have our lesson for this week. Okay, for our curriculum content, standards and lesson competencies, for content standards, the learners demonstrate understanding of hygiene practices, basic health appraisals, and target games in promoting personal wellness for active and healthy living. Our performance standards, the learners participate in health practices and target games in promoting personal wellness of active and healthy living. And for our learning competencies and objectives, perform physical activities using target games concepts with agility, balance, coordination, and speed for active and healthy living. So, for locomotor skills by avoiding an object or obstacles, manipulative skills by sending or propelling an object in intended area. And our lesson objectives for this week is explain the background of the games, develop accuracy and control, and learn how to focus and aim. Okay, so let's start with day 1. Can you guess what sports in the picture below? So we have, for number 1, we have a girl playing golf. For number 2, we have kids who plays tamaang tao or dodgeball. Number 3, we have bowling. And number 4, we have archery. Okay. So let's start off with physical fitness. So what is physical fitness? It can be defined as a general state of health and well-being, or more specifically as the ability to perform physical activities associated with daily life with vigor and alertness and without getting overly tired. So it is from the study of Nassim in 2021. So it is the ability to perform things. Kumbaga ito yung nagagawa mo yung mga bagay-bagay sa araw-araw na hindi ka naman nakakaramdam ng lagi ng pagod. Kumbaga, lagi kang masigasig na magawa yung mga gawain mo sa araw-araw. Kumbaga, ito rin ang ibig sabihin ay kumbaga general state of health and well-being. So, ito yung kumbaga yung kakayanan mo, no, yung abilidad mo, physical mong abilidad. Ano ba yung mga kakayahan mo? Okay. So we have here, when we say physical fitness, so it can encompass how many factors? Number 1, general state of health and well-being. So it encompasses, okay, general state of well-being contributing to a healthy and active lifestyle. Ability to perform daily activities. So physical fitness enables individuals to perform daily activities with vigor, alertness, and without excessive fatigue. So, ibig sabihin, nagagawa mo yung mga pang-araw-araw mong gawain na hindi ka masyadong nakakaramdam ng pagod. Okay, consistent conditioning. Achieving physical fitness requires consistent conditioning through leisure or structured activities. So, consistent conditioning, it's either regular kayo nag-exercise or nagzo-zumba, or you have, for example, you do sports regularly, nagja-jogging ka once a week or 3 times a week. So, continuous. Kumbaga, hindi natatapos yung pagpapakondisyon mo sa iyong katawan. This is prevention and health promotion. Physical fitness is closely linked to disease prevention and health promotion, making it crucial for overall well-being. So, ibig sabihin, hindi ka basta-basta nagkakasakit, at inaalagaan mo yung sarili mo para hindi ka rin magkasakit. So generally, ito yung pag-aalaga mo sa iyong sarili. And then, modification through physical activity. Physical fitness can be modified, improved through regular physical activity and exercise. So, for example, nagbabalik ka, and then, pwede rin naman nag-enroll ka ng kickboxing, taekwondo. So, kumbaga, binibigyan mo ng additional activity yung sarili mo just to stay active. Enhanced outcomes in physical activity. So, components of physical fitness have a significant positive relationship with enhanced outcomes in physical activity, including sports participation. Alright, so for example, volleyball, basketball, badminton, or you play table tennis, and other sports. So we have health-related components of fitness, or we call the physiological fitness. A well-balanced exercise program should include activities that address all of the health-related components of fitness. Good health has a strong relationship with health-related components of physical fitness. This determines the ability of an individual to perform daily activities with vigor and demonstrate the capacities associated with low risk of premature development of hypokinetic diseases. Okay, so sabi dito, kumbaga, a well-balanced exercise program ay kinakailangan na, kumbaga, syempre lagi, hindi naman pwedeng sobra-sobra yung pag-exercise mo, then hindi ka naman kumakain ng maayos. Sobra-sobra yung tulog mo, pero hindi ka rin nag-exercise. So, it should be well-balanced. And of course, as much as possible in a week, kailangan meron tayong physical activity just to keep our body strong and healthy. So, para makaiwas din tayo sa mga diseases na pwedeng dumapo sa atin because of our weak body o kaya humina yung ating immune system. So, kapag regular yung ating exercise, nagiging maganda yung kondisyon ng ating katawan, hindi tayo tinatamad, lagi tayong maganda yung mood araw-araw para gumawa ng mga bagay-bagay na mga dapat nating gawin. At isa pa, nalalayo tayo sa mga sakit dahil malakas ang ating resistensya. So we have here our health-related components of fitness. Number 1, cardiovascular endurance. So the ability to perform exercises at moderate to vigorous intensities for prolonged period. Examples of activities that benefit from good cardio endurance includes walking, jogging, swimming, cycling, and other sports that require continuous movement. So, nakakatulong itong cardiovascular exercises nito sa ating puso, no? Nagpapalakas ng ating resistensya, at the same time, pinapaganda niya yung daloy ng dugo natin, yung blood flow, at the same time, malakas din itong mag-burn ng ating extra fats sa katawan. So, an example is by walking, simply walking, it can really help to improve our cardiovascular endurance. Kumbaga, para hindi tayo madaling hingalin. So, next, muscular strength, how much force your muscles can exert or how heavy weights they can lift. To ensure well-rounded muscular strength, it's important to prioritize muscular strength training of all major muscle groups like legs, arms, core, shoulders, back, and hips. So, sabi nga, may napanood ako, huwag daw tayo matakot mag-lift ng weight. And hindi naman ibig sabihin na weightlifting ay yung katulad na nung mga ginagawa yung sa mga gym na ganun kabibigat. Siyempre, depende yun sa ating katawan. So, pwede na tayo yung, for example, yung mga PET bottles natin, yung how many liters na yun, pwedeng up to 5 kilos or how many liters, then pwede natin yung as long as kaya natin. And kumbaga, of course, kailangan mag-seek din tayo ng professional help kasi hindi naman pwedeng basta-basta na lang tayo mag-lift ng weights. Okay, so nakakatulong yon para tumiba yung ating mga muscles. So, Another one for muscular endurance, the ability of your muscles to sustain exercise for some time. So example, weight training, isometric exercise, and longer duration training. Next, we have flexibility, the ability to move muscles and joints through a full range of motion. Example of activities such as gymnastics, dance, and martial arts. Reaching the top shelf of a cupboard or bending down to pick up something from the ground. So, yung mga nagbe-bending. Diba? So, martial arts. So, kasama na dyan yung mga nagta-taekwondo. And then, gymnastics. Okay. And then, for body composition, your body's ratio of fat mass to fat-free mass like muscle and bone. Example activities, waist circumference, waist to hip ratio, bioelectrical, impedance analysis, dual energy X-ray, absorptiometry or DEXA, hydrostatic underwater weighing, air displacement, plethysmography or ADP or BODPOD. So by Davidson in 2022. So these are the health-related components of fitness. So we also have skill-related components. So this includes agility, balance, coordination, and speed. So agility is the ability to move quickly and easily to change direction quickly. Balance, the ability to maintain equilibrium and control the body's position. Coordination, the ability to use different parts of the body together smoothly and efficiently. And of course, speed, the ability to move quickly over a short distance. Skill-related components are associated with athletic competition that should be considered in the overall fitness of all individuals. These components are pertaining to the athletic ability of an individual, or physical fitness and its components. It is also known as performance-related fitness components. It is associated with athletic competition but should be considered in the overall fitness of all individuals. And there are 6 components of physical fitness as what we have. So may dagdag. So we have here balance, coordination, agility, speed, power, and reaction time. So may power and reaction time. So these are the skill-related components. So we have here again balance, ability of an individual to maintain their line of gravity with their base of support. It can be classified into static and dynamic. So example movement, so one leg stance test, sharpened Romberg's test, and time up and go test. For coordination, it is the ability to use the senses such as sight and hearing together with body parts in performing motor tasks smoothly and accurately. The alternate hand wall toss test is one of the tests which coordination can be assessed. Example movement, finger to nose test. For power, it is the rate which one can exert maximal force. Vertical jump test and hop test are some examples of power testing for lower extremity. A medicine ball throw test can be used to assess upper extremity power. Example movement, vertical jump test, medicine ball throw test. For agility, so it is defined as a rapid whole body movement with change of velocity or direction in response to a stimulus. It performs a series of explosive power movements in a rapid succession in opposing directions. So example, movement reaction time. So, gaano ba kabilis makakapunta from one place to another? So, speed, it relates to the ability to perform a movement within a short period. Speed combined with strength will provide power and force. The sprint test is one example of a test that can be used to examine person's speed. Example movement, a 40-meter sprint. Okay, so of course, no, as a student, ito yung kung natatandaan ninyo, nagkakaroon kayo ng physical fitness test. And without you knowing, isa ito o ang mga ito ang isa sa mga sinusukat no nung mga test na ginagawa nyo for the physical fitness test na pinapagawa sa inyo ng inyong PE teacher or MAPE teacher. So, para masukat kung gaano ba kayo fit and ano ba yung mga dapat na gawin para the next physical fitness test is mag-improve na yung scores ninyo. Okay, or yung fitness level ninyo. Okay, so let's have our day 2. So for day 2, we have movement skills. So we have the fundamental movement skills or FMS. So these are specific set of gross motor skills that involve different body parts. And these skills are the building blocks of more complex skills that children will learn throughout their lives. So they help children take part in games, sports, and recreational activities. So syempre, as a kid, hindi naman lahat makakapag laro ng iba't ibang sports. And we all know, iba-iba rin yung kumbaga kakayahan ng bawat bata. So for some na hindi sila masyadong aligned into sports, so they can still have, or pwede pa rin nila ma-develop yung mga skills nila or movement skills, especially sa paglalaro. So there are games na pwedeng gawin para ma-improve yung at mapalakas yung ating paganda yung physical fitness natin, yung pagiging physically fit natin, and to improve these different movement skills. So through sports, through games, and different recreational activities. So we have here the fundamental movement skills. So stability and balance, the ability to maintain an upright position and control body movement. Manipulative skills, the ability to control objects with hands and feet. Locomotor skills, the ability to move from one place to another. And body awareness, the ability to understand and control the position of one's body in space. So fundamental movement skills are important to the motor development of children's physical, cognitive, and social growth. There are 4 categories in which the fundamental skills fit for under 5s. Stability and balance, manipulative, locomotor, movement, and body awareness. For over 5s, we just focus on stability and balance. Manipulative and locomotor skills, as we would hope they have a good awareness of their body by then. Okay, so let's have the locomotor movement skills. So locomotor movement skills are those in which body is moved in one direction or combination of directions, so from one point to another. So activities such as walking, jogging, moving forwards, backward, side shuffling, skipping, running, jumping, hopping, and leaping are considered fundamental locomotion movements. Locomotion movement skills are probably the most basic and important category of fundamental movement skills that a child requires to play. So, for example, the rugby. Now, the player must be able to move around the pitch, and they use a variety of different locomotor movement patterns mentioned above to achieve this. So, minsan sa local version, so naglalaro tayo ng agawang base, di ba? O yung tinatawag nating secure base o yung secure base. Kumbaga, sa pamamagitan noon, na-develop din natin at nagagamit natin yung ating mga locomotor movement skills. Kasi, di ba, tumatakbo tayo and then, pumupunta tayo from one place to another. So, maganda talaga rin na nakakapaglaro tayo, especially during the times na we don't have yet yung gadgets natin. We're in every afternoon, nasa labas yung mga bata, naglalaro sila ng different games na kung saan nagagamit nila itong mga locomotor skills nila. They run, they jump, okay, they go to from one place to another, nag-hop sila, nagli-leap, and different kinds of locomotor skills yung kanilang ginagamit. Okay, so these are some of the locomotor skills in action. The square drill involves the player accelerating forward, side shuffling, backpedaling, and side shuffling again. This simple drill covers many locomotor skills important to rugby, yung laro. And in the follow the leader drill, one player acts as the leader while the other mirrors other actions such as jogging, running, and sidestepping. So, yung follow the leader, susundan mo lang kung ano yung ginagawa niya. And, yung kumbaga, yung gagawin ng leader is yung mga different locomotor skills movement. So, such as jogging, running, mag-hop siya, mag-jump, or tatalo ng mataas. So, yun yung gagayahin ng mga members. So, now let's go to manipulative skills. So, we have fine motor skills and gross motor skills. So, fine motor skills it involves moving or using an object with the hands to achieve goal or complete a task. So, for fine motor skills, that object might be a pencil or button. For gross motor skills, the object might be sporting equipment or toys such as bats, balls, rackets, or jumping ropes. So, these skills are also sometimes called object control skills. So, kung paano natin hinahawakan yung isang object. So, these are types of manipulative skills. So, we have bouncing, catching, dribbling, so moving a ball with the feet. And then we have kicking or to roll the ball. We also have lifting, pushing, and pulling. So the object might be a wheeled toy. Striking, such as swinging a baseball bat or golf club to hit a ball. We also have throwing and volleying, a ball back and forth to another person, either with the hands or a racket. So volleying yung tawag dun. That's why we have volleyball. Then activities like pencil tracing, stacking coins, and playing checkers, by contrast, require fine motor skills. So, yun naman yung fine motor skills. Yung parang mga board games natin. So, games to develop the skills, we have bowling. So, start with large, lightweight pins. Then move to smaller plastic bottles. Add weight to large bottles to use kids' bowling set. So, ito yung pwedeng gawin ng mga kids, no? To develop their skills. Kick it. So, have kids practice kicking with a large beach ball or soft foam ball. Challenge them to kick with their preferred foot, then switch to their other foot. So, see if they can kick their ball from a spot you choose and hit a wall. Gradually move them farther from the wall so you can also hold up the jump rope and see if they can kick the ball over it or under it. Then over the line, so divide the playing area in half with the line. Put an equal number of soft items like scarves, rolled up socks, beach balls, or lightweight bean bags on either side of the line. Have kids toss the objects over the line onto the floor on the opposite side. So they can switch sides and throw the items back over the line to the other side. So make it more fun by using small stuffed animals and pretending they are crossing a river. So yan. So tatapon nila yung object over the line. And strike up the band. Young children often enjoy practicing striking by drumming on pots and pans with spoons and playing with their other toy musical instruments. So yan. Yung baby ko, mahilig siyang palo-palo. So, gustong-gusto niya yung xylophone, yung drums, and then yung piano. So, yun yung ginagawa niya. So, enjoy na enjoy sila kapag may tunog and then sinastrike nila yung toys nila. Okay, for day 3. So, this time we're going to talk about target games. So, what are target games? So, target games are activities in which children send an object towards a target. Some target games involve avoiding obstacles, blocking throws, or defending. Target games teach children new skills and strategies for everyday life. These games help children learn to judge distance, protect their shots, and vary their throwing technique. So, ano ba yung mga target games natin? For example, dart, okay, or archery. Kumbaga, meron silang tina-target, or basketball, kasi they aim to shoot the ball doon sa goal or sa net. And of course, it helps the children learn to judge distance, protect their shots. Syempre, di-defend mo yung bola. If you're playing basketball, you're going to defend the ball from the other team stealing it from you. Okay, so you learn to protect, no, by simply playing target games. Another one, yung tamaang tao, 'di ba? So, natututunan mong umiwas kasi babatuhin ka, targetin ka. So, you learn how to, kumbaga, natututunan mo paano hindi ka tamaan, umiwas doon sa bola. So, these are the values being learned in target games. Of course, number one, teamwork, especially if the game is played in team. Children learn to cooperate with each other in order to win. So, natututunan nila kung paanong magtulungan as a team to play as a team in order for them to win. Another one is discipline. Respecting rules is important for a successful game. That's why, yung mga sports, there are certain rules to be followed para matuto yung mga bata, especially children like you or learners like you, to have discipline. So, yung rules kailangang sundin. So, if you break the rules, so, talo ka doon sa game. Another one is gaining confidence. Practice leads to success and boost children's confidence. So, kapag nananalo, syempre, tumataas yung confidence mo, and at the same time, you also learn kapag natatalo ka. Okay? You learn to accept defeat, and you learn to accept na hindi lahat ng pagkakataon ay palagi kang panalo. At the same time, patience, as what they say, patience is a virtue. Skills take time to develop, and patience is a key. So, as what we know, no, yung ating mga athletes, yung ating mga Olympiads, ng mga winners ng mga medals from the recent Olympics, patience is one of the key kung bakit sila successful sa kanilang chosen sports career. Kasi kung hindi sila nagtiyaga, wala silang pasensya sa haba ng training, sa mga events na kailangan at sa mga sasalihan nila, at the same time, yung rigorous training talaga is hindi sila magsasucceed, hindi ba? So, that's why, in learning a skills, syempre, yung mga different sports, merong mga iba't ibang skills yan. You need to be patient kasi wala namang pinanganak na pagpanganak niya magaling na kaagad mag-basketball. So, patience is one of the values that every learner or sports enthusiast should learn. Or kumbaga, kung gusto mong maging successful as a player, as an athlete, so isang values na dapat mong taglayin is patience. And of course, isa sa mga values na natututunan natin in target games is decision making. Yan. Target games encourage children to think quickly and make their decisions about their next move. Diba? Nagiging at the same time, kumbaga nagkakaroon ka rin ng critical thinking. Decision making at the same time critical thinking. So, you think ano ba yung best move na dapat mong gawin, yung mga plans and strategies to win a game. So, those are the values being learned in target games. So, now let's go with dodgeball. So, we're going to discuss the history of dodgeball. So, deadly origins. Dodgeball, originally called tamaang bola or tamaang tao, was played in Africa over 200 years ago. Tagal na pala. So, instead of the fun, jocular game it is today, it was a deadly game played with large rocks and putrefied matter. It was used as an intense workout for tribes where competitors would attempt to hit their opponents with rocks to injure or incapacitate them. So, hindi pala maganda yung kanyang origin, no? Pero ngayon, ginagawa na natin siya as laro, no? Kumbaga yung tamaang tao. And then brutal gameplay. Once a player was hit, they would attempt to be pelted by further rocks to finish them off. Teammates of the fallen competitor would try to defend him and force the attackers off with their own rocks. This was seen as a way to encourage tribesmen to work together during skirmishes against other tribes. And then we have Carlisle influence. A missionary, Dr. James H. Carlisle, witnessed the game and was intrigued by the agility and ruthlessness of the tribesmen. He spent many hours watching and became exalted with the ritual. And then we have the European introduction. Carlisle traveled back to England via Europe and showed some of his pupils what he had seen. European men lacked the natural agility or accuracy to dodge or throw, and the game didn't take hold. And for its modern transformation, Carlisle returned to St. Mary's College in Norfolk and was able to transform the vicious training into an all-inclusive game. So from its deadly origin, so naging sport siya or naging play siya or naging game. No? So, kumbaga, hindi pala ganun kaganda ang history ng dodgeball. But we are very thankful kasi hindi na siya ginagawa ngayon para makasakit ng tao, but as a leisure na. Kumbaga, games na siya. And at the same time, kumbaga, kasama na rin doon yung teamwork kasi nilalaro to as a team. So, kasama na doon strategies, decision-making, teamwork, patience, and all. So, what are the materials and equipments needed in playing dodgeball? So, of course, kailangan ng bola. And then, also, we have uniform. So, pwede naman itong wala. So, as long as you know who are your teammates. And, of course, a playing area. And then, how to play the game? To play batuhang bola or dodgeball, you must first gather two teams and get a ball. The first team should stand in the middle of the court, while the second team should be divided into two and should stand on both sides of the first team. The second team should hit the players of the first team. If you hit a player, that player is out. If that player catches the ball, his team will gain a life and can be used to revive another player or be used to continue to play if the ball hits him or her. You will win the game if we have hit all the players and none of the players are left. So we have here the rules of Tamaang Tao. This is the Pinoy version of dodgeball. So, of course, the offense team will try to hit the defense team while the defense team will try to dodge the balls that the offense team will throw. Number 2, coin toss. The toss coin will decide which team plays on the defense and offense. Starting positions, half of the players, the offensive team, shall stand on opposite starting lines 10 meters away from each other. The defensive team shall disperse to the area between the starting lines. So, syempre, ito yung itong mga rules na to. So, first 2 minutes, elimination, catch and score, field violation, game duration, and winning team. So, it is, kumbaga, ito, formality, diba? Formality in playing Tamaang Tao. Pero, usually, more on katuwaan na lang yung ating paglalaro ng Tamaang Tao. But still, if you want na meron talagang manalo and there are rules, so here are the rules. So, let's continue. For the first 2 minutes, the offensive team shall try to hit the opponent using only one softball, while the defensive team shall try to dodge the ball. The other ball will be used after the first 2 minutes lapse. So, elimination, a player who is hit will be eliminated in the game. Catch and score, the defense player may opt to catch a ball and score a second life, either for him or herself or for a teammate who was, eliminated. For field violation, in the event that the defensive player goes beyond the field, one member will be eliminated. And game duration, the game ends when an agreed time lapses. So, supposed to be 3 minutes. And the winning team, the team who got the least number of eliminated members within 3 minutes wins. Kung sino yung mas marami yung natira at pinakakaunti yung na-eliminate after 3 minutes, yun ang mananalo sa game. So, games and skills. develop skills-related fitness components such as speed, agility, reaction time, and power, develop sports skills like throwing, pitchers in baseball, and running for athletics. So for day 4, so it's time for you to have your formative assessment. So we have here a 10 question or 10 item quiz. So kindly answer this one and let's check if you got the correct answers for this 10 item assessment. So here are the correct answers for the formative assessment. Alright, so thank you so much for being with me. So this will be your lesson for week 7 and 8. So I hope you learned something, and always remember to keep ourselves healthy, especially during this time. So we need to, kumbaga kailangan maging active tayo. We play some games and we try to walk, we try to jog as much as possible para maging maganda yung flow ng dugo natin and to stay healthy as well. So thank you again for being with me, and I hope you learned something from our lesson. So see you again next time. So this is Teacher Aisa. Bye!